This is Alexander Conway, which is another terrible set of facts. File number is 251229SD. This is the one that didn't have a driving record in it. I think Daniel did this. Let's see where Daniel is. Somebody get a hold of Daniel and tell him to log in here. I think he's working remotely because his office is flooded. Anyway, file number is 251229. Defendant is charged with operating with a high blood alcohol level. He had pled guilty to operating while intoxicated and possession of a firearm while under the influence. He's here with his lawyer, Mr. Tim George. Also present is Abigail Stoll from the prosecutor's office. She has a bit of a conflict in this case. The complainants in this case are her aunt and uncle. All right, everything's in the file, I hope. All right. Mr. George, what would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, this is a situation where facts are they're not great and they're just unusual. But I think Dan does provide some context to the court about some of the things that my client has gone through. As the court knows, my client is a veteran, has been plugged into VA services in the past. And I just asked him if he had been plugged into anything recently. He said no. So I think with the recommendation, it would allow some supervision, which I do think is appropriate, just to make sure that Mr. Conway is doing what he needs to do. But he does have the ability to plug into things that, the rest of us that haven't served aren't able to. And a lot of times they're able to get more specific treatment for the issues that they're dealing with. There's a lot of, things that individuals that have served in the military bring back just as part of their service. And I think that specific treatment would be beneficial for him. Overall, Your Honor, obviously this is a situation that I know Mr. Conley would like to take back if he could, but he can't, and he just needs to, come in front of the court. And I think he's prepared to take whatever this court is willing to give for a sentence. So we'd ask the court to adopt Mr. Freysign's recommendation. We think that it's appropriate. Thank you.
He's not here to address it further. Ms. Stoll, what's your position here?
Thank you, Your Honor. I agree that the facts in this case are bad. They're pretty strange. The defendant showed up at the witness's house very intoxicated. His BAC was a .228. He had a loaded gun in his truck. There was a round in the chamber. He'd also cut himself on some glass that was covering the basement egress window. So who knows what he was doing around their house. They say that they don't know him, that he's shown up at their house a few times, but I would recommend at least 10 days in jail, as well as some probation. It's clear that he has some mental health issues and some alcohol abuse issues.
Mr. I talked about the vagaries of randomness. The first lady, I don't know if you were here yet, she got her face smashed through a plate glass window by a man with mental health problems. It was improperly released from the jail. Second guy almost hit and killed a truck driver who just happened to be driving down 131 northbound on a Tuesday in October. These people live out in the country on Custer Road, and for reasons I don't understand, you believe you know them. And this is scary stuff. The wrong house, you'd have got shot. You show up at their house drunk, drive your car over their retaining wall, your truck, and hang it up. You got an unregistered Sig Sauer in your damn pocket, 2 magazines, the thing's loaded, there's a round in the chamber. You have a CPL, but this gun isn't registered. You get out of the truck, walk around their house, looking in the windows, banging on the door. You stepped on the plexiglass cover over a basement egress window and fell into it. because you were standing on it, looking in the windows of the house. These people are terrified. You were there on Mother's Day, you were there on Father's Day. This was June 26th. I'm disappointed, and you were a 228. They haven't recently sought any veteran treatment. You, I think, had been in
I was told that I can't seek inpatient treatment until all cases are dropped, or not dropped, but handled.
completed.
Yeah.
Are you still seeing Lisa?
I've seen her twice. I haven't seen her since. My probation officer has recommended to me that I start seeing her again.
You got quote unquote your drinking under control. No, you don't. I don't know what you were doing with this gun. And
I just, like you said, I have a CPL. I just standard was carried every day.
but you're not
Shouldn't
supposed
have
to
been.
carry it when you have a 228 blood alcohol level. Also, it isn't registered. I don't know where it came from.
I bought it. I just didn't register it with the county. Bought it from the store.
All right, what do you want me to know?
As just mentioned, I do, I 100% service connected permanent total for TBI with that delusions.
How did you get your brain injury?
Head wound,
From what?
football?
All right, that was in high school?
No, in the Marine Corps.
All right, so you were in the Marine Corps and you were injured in a football game.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
What else?
Well, you were telling me about what's going on in your life.
Part of the service connected disabilities is delusions. So, I think that's probably what's more happening here. And I have gotten my drinking under control since, but I few lapses just after the incident, but I have since gotten it under control. And drinking didn't help, that's for sure.
Have you worked since you got out of the service?
No, sir. Just school.
What kind of school?
I've attended a couple different schools, unable to maintain and stick it through. So I just stopped trying. Was just building up education debt through the VA.
Do you get a medical disability payment?
I do. 100% permanent total.
From the military?
Yeah.
What happened to your truck?
It got impounded.
How much it cost you to get it out?
500.
Was it broken?
No, sir.
Now, this wasn't the first time you'd been to these people's house. Are you over this delusion that you somehow know these people?
I am, sir. Yeah, I was, like I said, I was drinking and that really induced the problem far worse.
Charge of possession of a firearm while intoxicated. An order 1 day jail credit, 1 day. Who do you live with?
By myself, sir.
Do you have any pets?
I have a cat.
Fine on that one is 0. Firearm and magazines are forfeited. law requires that. State police will destroy that gun. All right, on the other charge, there's a $300 fine, a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $100 screening fee, attorney fee of $150, $480 probation oversight fee, $200 reimbursement to the sheriff's department. He didn't recommend the victim impact payment. I'm gonna order 10 days jail. Credit 1, giving 9 days to serve. Of the 9 days, 5 are deferred. You got 2 weekends to do in jail. Scaring the hell out of these people. I know people that would have shot you. In the victim impact panel. It's $32. No drugs and no alcohol. Participate in treatment, including VA. You don't have your drinking under control. You don't just turn it on and off like a switch. You've got a traumatic brain injury, which affects your judgment and cognition. You don't say, well, I got under control. I'm holding my breath. I have to breathe again, and then I drink again. And when you do drink, it's a binge. You'd have no contact with the stoles. Or you'll end up doing 93 days in jail. No drugs, no alcohol, substance abuse counseling and treatment is directed. Participate in treatment with the VA, including VA, and sign a release. The victim impact panel. I didn't add all that up. Let's try that. 300 plus 125 plus 100 plus 150 attorney fee plus 480 probation oversight fee, $200 police reimbursement, and a $32 cost of the victim impact panel, which is $1,387. Drinking, driving is expensive. I think we've got $500 of bond in here also. It's a $5,000 bond, so $450 of it can be applied to fine and costs. You owe $937 in 1 year. Theoretically, they could have the discretion to discharge you after 6 months. Daniel, our probation agent, isn't here. Said he was sick, but I'm going to send you out to the counter. He's going to schedule when you're going to do those jail days. I thought about just doing it right now, but you got things going on, and I'm going to do a supervised probation. I put the other gentleman in right now because I'm not going to put him on probation. Plus, he almost killed somebody. All right, I'm serious. If you go back to the Stoll's house, I'm going to violate your probation and just lock you up. Leave those people alone. They don't have anything to do with you. You work on your other issues. And I'd like to think we can get your substance abuse problem under control, but it ain't gonna be by not doing anything about it. So you go out with the court officer and probation clerks out of the front counter will hopefully give you some advice on what to do next. All right, now we got Mr. Gibson's cases. Thank you. As I indicated, we're way behind schedule, but Let's start with Clayton Carr. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
This is file number 252521, People versus Clayton Carr. Mr. Carr is present. He's charged with interfering with a crime report and domestic assault. He's here with his lawyer, Mr. Paul Gibson. He pled to those charges and the matter set for sentencing today. He has 1 day of jail credit. My notes indicate that the prosecutor did not object to a deferral in this case. Mr. Gibson, what would you like me to know?
Shortly after I believe the defendant was arrested, I was contacted by the defendant, and I was also contacted by the alleged victim. The no contact bond was an inconvenience for the defendant. It required him to have to find a new place to live. And that's the kind of thing I think that kind of really sends a message to the defendant when something like this happens, that this is serious. This isn't just, this is real. This is a criminal case. This is serious business. And that's why those no contact orders exist. And so I think that the defendant in this case, it's my understanding he's got a full-time job. He's hoping to put this incident behind him. When something like this happens, I think people just wish that they could make it go away, but they can't just make it go away, and they have to deal with it, and it takes time. And so that's why, it's taken us about a month to get to this point. But I think the defendant's learned a lesson here. I think that if he has an issue with alcohol, hopefully that he could get help for any alcohol problem. I don't think that alcohol helped in this situation. I think it contributed to both parties' conduct. And so I'm asking the court to consider fines and costs, community service, or probation as a sentence. Thank you.
Ms. Stoll, what's your thought here?
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe in this case, fines and costs are likely appropriate. But my notes also reflect that he is getting the deferral. So this would be a good opportunity for him to sort of get his affairs in order and learn from his mistakes.
Well, that would be a good thing. All right, on the interfering with a crime report, or 1 day jail credit 1 day. I'm going to do the probation and the domestic violence charge. That charge is going to go on your record. That's not deferred. Mr. Carr, is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Yeah, I realized I made a mistake and I'm just trying to move past it, and I don't drink like that. That's not me at all. I was influenced by my significant other at the time, and I'm moving on from that, trying to better myself.
You say at the time, so you're not with Taylor Hall anymore?
We have no contact. I don't plan on trying to be back with her. I just want to put this in the past. And
But you don't have any children together?
no, we don't.
All right, well, they wanted me to lift the no contact provision as well, and they didn't provide any additional information. I'm gonna follow the recommendation for the deferral. I'm gonna do a 12-month deferral. I have to put you on probation to do the deferral. 11 days jail credit 1 of the 10 days ordered, of the 11 days ordered. 10 are deferred. There's a $125 fine, a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee, $480 probation oversight fee, and you're to pay for the class. Where are you working?
I work at a plastic factories in Sturgis. It's called Carter's Associates.
Let's add this up, 250 plus 150 plus 480, 880. I believe you posted $600 of bond. Again, it was a 10% bond, so 600 minus $60 is 540. Leaves 340. You're gonna do the domestic violence anger management class. No drugs, no alcohol, test as directed. No assaultive or threatening behavior. The no contact provision is lifted. So if you want to talk to them, you can. But at this point, I guess you've moved on and maybe that's for the best. Are you on probation or parole anywhere else?
No, sir.
Have you ever been previously convicted of any assault charge?
No, sir.
All right, again, our probation department's a bit disrupted with the flood. I'm gonna send you out with the court officer. I'll start on probation. Theoretically, you could be discharged from this probation at the end of 6 months if you successfully complete it. But the probation is up to a year if we need it. Or the court officer take you out to the counter. If you hold up your end of the deal, the domestic assault charge will be taken off your record and won't be a public record of that conviction.
Thank you.
All right. You're good.
Have a
to
great
go.
day.
All right, thank you. All right, next we got Katie Brandy. Good morning. All things considered, I guess we're not doing too terrible. Miss Brandy's, you're here with your lawyer, Mr. Paul Gibson. File number is 251890. You were charged with no insurance under the insurance code and driving suspended and failing to get proper registration. We had some struggles to get this thing done. I don't believe we've ever actually entered the plea. I think it was set for jury trial. The defendant indicated she was gonna, the plea offer was she was going to plead to impeding traffic and 251890. That's the no insurance charge. Impeding traffic is a civil infraction, carries $100 fine, and doesn't go on your driving record. That's a pretty good deal. The city of Sturgis case, she was going to plead to no valid operator's license. And that charge is driving suspended. And the charge of registration plate violation under ordinance would be dismissed. Is that your understanding, Mr. Gibson?
Yes, Your Honor.
And where did this happen? Sturgis, W.T. George. So the no insurance charge, even though it's the third time this year you got charged with that, they're dismissing it and turning it into impeding traffic. That carries a fine of $100, but it's not a crime. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Are you going to plead to that charge? All right, no insurance is punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $500, not less than $200. The driving suspended charge is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. It carries 2 points on your driving record. It will go on your driving record, but it does not carry a suspension. You understand? And then the improper registration would be dismissed. How'd you get here today?
My sister-in-law with me.
All right, where's she?
Carr.
All right. Which side she parked on?
Right in the front.
All right, well, let's make sure Miss Brandy's didn't drive in here today. All right, so let's talk about this. Other than this plea agreement where no insurance and driving suspended are being dismissed, anybody promise you anything to get you to plead to this
Yes, sir.
or threaten you?
No.
Do you understand that if you do plead to this charge, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury? Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Mr. Gibson is here with you. You would also have the right to hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wished. If you had a trial, you'd have the right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. And you have the right to be presumed innocent unless the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Were you driving a car on September 14th here in St. Joe County? It says it was at Griffith at Lakeview at 4:30 in the morning. Were you driving a car at that time?
Yes, sir.
Where were you going?
I was on the way to my mom's house.
Were you living in Battle Creek at that time?
No,
Where were you living at that time?
at Village Manor in Sturgis.
And where were you driving to?
From Village Manor to my mom's in Courtroom.
All right. I have a whole deja vu all over again feeling here, but I don't think we actually entered the plea yet. And you didn't have any insurance on the car. And your license was suspended at that time? You live in Union City now?
I just recently moved to Muncie.
All right, that's what he said. You're moving to Muncie, Indiana. All right, let's make sure that she's got a driver out there. What kind of car is she in?
So white Buick, I think.
On the library side,
It's like,
the post
it's
office
to the-
side?
when you walk out, it's to the right.
Well, this means we won't have a jury trial. Now, already got a bunch of unpaid fines and costs. You're on a payment plan. And then you made payments in October, maybe September and October, and then you haven't paid since. What's going on?
Well, I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit and started doing drugs and stuff. And now
Are you working someplace?
sober. I just applied back at IAC over in Mendon.
Well, you can't drive from Muncie to IAC, plus they're closing
I'm
IAC.
trying to move back this way because my son's here.
IAC is closing.
In Mendon,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, you didn't apply there. They're closing the plant.
No, I did. I just turned it in. My application into the box. In the front door,
How did you send it in?
like a couple weeks ago when he was here. Might have been more than that now. To look at my phone. But I had, my brother was working there. He brought me an application. I
All
filled it
right,
out.
when did you apply at IAC? Just tell me the truth. Don't pee on my leg and tell me that's raining. Can you look at your phone?
Yeah, I am looking to see. October?
Yeah, well, this is almost February. The problem is you've got a bunch of these and then you don't pay the fine. You got no proof of insurance on May 8th here in St. Joe County. And no proof of insurance is generally no insurance. You haven't paid that fine. You got a no proof of insurance in Coldwater.